What's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a bridal video. So get ready because it's almost wedding season, and I know one of the best ways to save money on a wedding is to skip the makeup artist and just do your makeup yourself. So obviously everybody turns to YouTube to learn how to do that, especially beginners that don't normally wear makeup on a day-to-day basis, or just women that are looking to up their game so that they look their best on their wedding day. So today's video is going to be a bridal foundation routine. I'm also going to be doing a bridal eye look for beginners, and that's going to be a separate video, so definitely watch out for that. I'm not sure which one is going to go up. I did do a poll on my Instagram. You can follow me at SuperAshley127, the same as this channel. You can follow me on there, and I do a lot of polls on what kind of videos and stuff, but the poll right now is pretty split, so I'm not sure which video I'm going to post first. But yeah, I'm going to take you step by step through the entire foundation routine process. This is going to be really great to keep your makeup on all day long, to look flawless, and just how to be as beat as possible so you can feel your very best on your big day. You can also use this tutorial if you're a bridesmaid or a guest of a wedding and you just want to spruce up your look. So let's get started. I'm going to first start off with primer, which is very important to have your makeup last throughout the entire day. I'm going to start by spritzing my face with the NYX Matte Finish Setting Spray. I am going to focus a lot on oil control because I feel like a lot of people, the longer you wear your makeup, the more oily you get throughout the day. But if your skin type is more on the dry side, then you can skip a few of these steps. I would switch this product out for the NYX Dewy Finish Setting Spray and you'd be fine, but we're gonna go ahead and spritz. And doing this initial layer of the setting spray is really gonna help your makeup stick to your face and hold on for the entire day. This next product is also gonna do the same thing. This is the Dior Skin Forever and Everywhere makeup primer. This is a very great long-wearing makeup primer. It's kind of pricey, but I do highly recommend it. It is one of the only primers I've found that actually keeps my makeup wearing all day long. So you're just gonna take about that much on your fingers and you're just gonna rub this all over your face. Some primers we do just in certain target areas, but this one, we obviously want our makeup to last over our entire face for the entire day. So you're gonna go ahead and spread this across your whole face. And it's very thin. It feels more like a lotion than it does like a silicone-y primer. So it's gonna give you like a little bit more hydration, but also just keep everything intact. The next step I'm gonna go in with is another primer. This is for smoothing your skin, smoothing any fine lines and filling in any pores. This is the Makeup Forever Step 1 Smoothing Primer. Makeup Forever has a whole line of Step 1 primers. They have hydrating, they have nourishing, they have mattifying. You can figure out which one is your favorite. If you have dry skin, you can go for the nourishing or the hydrating. I go for the smoothing because I do have texture issues and large pores in the center of my face. So I'm just gonna take this right in my T-zone and press it in, and then also along my jawline where I get some texture. You're gonna press it in where you have pores, and then everywhere else you can just smooth over so that it just smooths over everything and makes it really nice and easy for your foundation to glide on. So at this point I would go ahead and do my brows and my eyeshadow, and this is because you don't want your eyeshadow, any of the fallout, to fall onto your foundation if you were to do that first. So I tend to do my eyes first because I don't want to have to worry about any fallout or ruining like the base I just did. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do now. If you would like to see that video of me doing my eye look, then you can go ahead and click. I will put a card when the video is available, and I will be back right after so that we can get into the foundation. Okay you guys, now I am back. I have my eye makeup on. Once again, you can check out that video. I'll link it down in the description box when it's available for you guys. But now let's get started on this foundation. So we actually are going to be doing some cream contouring before foundation. I feel like this is a lot easier for me personally to do because I'm not like the greatest at cream contour. But I feel like if you do it first, it's a little bit more subtle than like slapping on a bunch of like way too dark foundation on top of your perfect base. That's just how I feel. So to do that, we're going to be using the Bobbi Brown Stick Foundation. I'm using Cool Golden, but obviously just get a shade that's darker than your skin tone to cream contour because you need something darker to contour, obviously. Duh. So I'm going to start off at my cheekbone and just do literally a straight line right there. Another straight line right here. Do a few strokes around my forehead because Mama's got a big head. Do some strokes right on the jawline to define that, around the nose. Literally straight lines right down the center of the nose. I've been going really tight. Also like right on the nose lobes, like your nostrils. I've been going super tight with my nose contour lately because my mommy taught me how, and I'm into it. So once that is on, you're gonna take in like kind of like a buffing brush, a smaller one. This one is from Eco Tools. It is their seamless stippling brush. It's just a smaller size than a normal stippling brush, and it's a lot shorter, so it's really great for blending out this stuff. I'm gonna start on my jawline and just go in circular motions and blend this all out. And like I said, it's gonna look crazy before you go in with your foundation, but once the foundation's on top of it, it's actually gonna look really good and like a lot more natural, I think, than doing cream contouring on top of your foundation. And you don't wanna go too far up because you don't wanna like look like you have a beard. So just blend that out in circular motions. I actually don't want it on my chin. I don't know why I put it down here. Yeah, so I went a little too high up there, so I just wiped it off, and I'm just gonna keep it right under the chin to disguise the double chin. Now for the cheekbones, you want to go above where the contour is and blend from there, because you don't want it to drop too far down over here, because then you'll just look muddy and weird and it won't actually contour you. Like I said, circular motions just to blend this all out. Forehead is the easy part. You just go ahead and blend this out. If you don't have a big forehead like me, you could probably skip this step. I would just stick to bronzer once the foundation is on, just to kind of like warm up the face. But if you don't need to contour your forehead, skip it. I know, you guys, I look like, I know I look crazy, I know, but it'll come together. Don't you worry. And then for the nose, I'm gonna take something smaller like this. This is a E71 from Sigma. I'm just gonna blend up and down the nose. Oh, I forgot I did under here. This is gonna make your lip look a little bit poutier by contouring under here. I didn't even mention that. Okay, so now we're gonna actually go in with foundation and cover this all up. Not cover it, but like, yes, cover it up, but it's still gonna be there. It's gonna be very, very subtle, you'll see. So the foundations that I'm gonna mix together for our perfect wedding foundation it's a pricey combo, I'm sorry, but it's fucking good. It is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation with the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. This combo is so good. You have the full coverage and the wear from the Estee Lauder, and then you have like the luminosity and kind of like the really gorgeous finish of the Giorgio Armani, and together, this is like the dream team. You are going to look fucking beat on your wedding day. I'm gonna do a little dollop of the Estee Lauder, like that amount, on the back of my hand. You can also use a little coaster. I probably should use a little coaster. And then make sure you always shake your foundations before you use them. And then I'm gonna do 2 pumps of the Giorgio Armani. And this is also making my perfect shade, to be honest. And then you're gonna mix that up on the back of your hand or whatever you're mixing on. Pop it on your face. I'm gonna take my damp beauty blender to apply this. And you just wanna really press, take the butt of the beauty blender. This is gonna get the job done easiest and blend it out the best. There's literally nothing I hate more than when I see somebody use this end of the beauty blender to put on their foundation. It makes me so mad, like irrationally angry. But you're gonna just press this into the face. You're gonna pounce, you're not gonna swipe, you're not going to do any other motion. You are going to just literally up and down, bounce it on your face. This is gonna give you the most coverage, and it's just gonna blend it out the best. It's gonna really push it into the skin and work it in better than any other thing in the world. I don't like brushes for foundation. They are the worst. I just don't know how to use them anymore. I know a lot of people get really great finishes from foundation brushes, but I just don't. So the Beauty Blender is the best way to go for me. I think it is beautiful. It is such a great multi-purpose product. I literally can't live without this thing. I have like 80 of them, and it's just the best. But look, let's talk about this foundation finish. Like, our skin is slowly but surely looking phenomenal. So yeah, like I said, just pounce it all over your face. Make sure you're really pressing it in. Don't skimp on your blending here. This is really like the most important part, is how much you're gonna blend your foundation. So make sure you get around the nooks and crannies of your nose. Make sure nothing is cakey around here. Make sure your beauty blender is nice and damp, because if it's too dry, it won't blend it as easily or as nicely. Make sure you work it down your neck, especially if you're wearing like a low cut dress. This is obviously just a bodysuit. I didn't buy a bridal gown for this video, but If any of your neck is gonna be showing, make sure you work it down your neck and make sure everything is the same exact color. Even if that means taking your foundation down here, like it's totally worth it because those pictures are gonna be around forever. I can't stress this enough, like this around your nose, for me is the part that gets cakey the easiest, so I take extra care around that part, and also between your eyebrows can very easily get lines, at least for me. So I always make sure to like extra blend this part and don't load up too much product in there. Also around your nose, don't load up too much product. But that was like the perfect amount of product. We got pretty full coverage. Make sure all of the parts around your forehead where that cream contour was is nicely blended. Make sure there's not like extra product in your hairline. Even when the foundation looks like it's perfectly blended, take a few more seconds and just go around and make sure, like make sure, push it all into the skin. Just give yourself a little extra time and effort to make sure your skin is looking as perfect as possible. Just doing a few extra like bounces of your Beauty Blender across your face is gonna pick up any extra product, and that's gonna help your makeup last longer because there's nothing like too heavy sitting on this layer of the skin. Everything that's on your face is sunken into your skin and it's staying there all night long. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and conceal. My favorite concealer is the Tarte Shape Tape. This is the shade Light. I do highly recommend this because it is full coverage, it is long lasting, it does not crease. It is a great concealer if you aren't used to wearing like a full beat. This might be too much coverage for you, but honestly, I mean, it's your wedding day. You're gonna want a full beat, am I right? Like, you don't wanna look natural, you wanna look beat as fuck, right? Like, am I right? So it has a huge doe foot applicator. I'm gonna start right under the eye, go straight across, down, and just make this kind of like V shape. This is gonna highlight your face. Go around the mouth because women tend to get dark around the mouth and like redness around the mouth. Do the same thing on the other side. I'm also gonna take a little bit right on my forehead to highlight the center of my forehead. You just do like a little bit of a fan shape, and then also right down the center of my nose to highlight, because we contoured this side but we also want to highlight. I'm also just going to take it right here on the sides of the nose, and this is going to slim us. And then also I'm going to go right under where we put our contour, just a thin little line. And this is just kind of like gonna reverse contour. I don't know, it's gonna do something, watch. It's gonna like highlight under where you contoured, so it's gonna bring out the contour more, and it's gonna make you look chiseled. I take my Beauty Blender, I start on my forehead, because I like to let what's under my eyes sit a little bit. It helps the product stick a little bit better, and it's kind of like the same method as baking. Like it lets it sit a little to kind of like lock into place. And so I like to actually leave the under eye a little bit longer, which is why I do I blend out the rest of the concealer first. Oh, I forgot to do my Cupid's bow. I always do my Cupid's bow just because it highlights it a little. But you just need like a touch right there. My chin, I forgot to say the chin. The chin, it just makes you look like you have a stronger jawline. Under here, it's not much of a difference, but it does something. It just really like defines your contour. You see that? And don't worry, we're gonna blend everything out so it's not gonna look as intense, but especially when you're taking pictures, it's gonna look phenomenal. And like I said, just pouncing or using this side of the Beauty Blender now because it's more detailed. Now around the mouth, if anything seems like it already dried and you can't blend it, you can spritz your Beauty Blender with a little bit of setting spray or a little bit of water, and it'll make it move around a lot easier. Like especially around the mouth, I feel like that dried a little bit too quickly, so I could use some, but I think we're good. And then you're gonna go under your eye and down the side of your nose, and you're just gonna press it into place. And under here is really important because you wanna make sure that there's no creases. So you're just gonna press it in a lot. But you're looking bright, you're looking lifted, you're looking concealed. It's so lit. And then you can also clean up any eyeshadow that you had on the outer corner. This is the step to do it. Okay, now to lock the concealer in place, I'm gonna take this. This is my favorite setting powder. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. And I'm just gonna literally dunk my Beauty Blender straight into the powder. and you're gonna go under your eye and literally press it in to where you applied that concealer. And the more you press it, the more it's going to just lock it into place and keep it there. This isn't necessarily baking. I only put the amount of powder to like sink into my skin. I don't put any extra. I just make sure everything is like really, really pressed into the skin. And the marriage between the damp beauty blender and the loose powder on top of the concealer is literally like life-changing. It locks everything into place so, so well. I will also take that anywhere I put that concealer. I like to focus a little bit more powder right in between my eyebrows so that nothing creases there. Get around the mouth, especially if you have laugh lines, like if you get laugh lines in your makeup. And then also I'll take a little bit more and I'll just drag it right under our contour. And that's going to define it even more. We're looking good, ladies. We are looking good. Okay. Now, if you have oily skin, I do recommend this step. I honestly recommend this step to everybody. It just depends how much powder you use, but I like to take a second powder and just lock my entire face into place because I feel like everything else, like all your cheek products, blend better on top of this. So I'm taking the Sephora Micro Smooth Baked Powder. I love this powder, and I also love this brush. This is the NYX 03. It's just like a domed powder brush, and you're basically going to press this into the skin. And this is going to lock everything into place. And don't worry, I know we look powdery at this point, but our setting spray at the end of the day will save it. And then also the longer you wear this, the more your oils are gonna come through, and it's actually gonna like, so now we're gonna go ahead and bronze. The bronzer I'm gonna be using is the Bobbi Brown Golden Light Bronzer, and I like to bronze with a stippling brush. This one is from Makeup Forever. So I just swirl the brush in it, tap it off, and then I'll go right on my cheeks and just buff that in. And this is going to warm up the skin. Just go in circular motions and make sure that it's nicely blended out. This brush does all the work for you. Go ahead on the forehead and warm that up. You don't need much here because we do have that cream contour on. Then go down the neck if your neck is a little bit lighter than your face at this point, or your body. Now I'm gonna take another brush. This is like honestly one of my new favorite brushes. This is the EcoTools Precision Foundation Brush. It's like a little chubby guy, but it's like slanted on this side. So I take this part of it and I go into a contour powder. This is, I think, Java from Anastasia, and I get it on like that pointed side. And I go right where my contour is and I just do a straight line. Like that. I know it looks crazy, but don't worry. Other side, get that on there. And then remember that brush we blended out the cream contour with? I'm gonna go in with that again and just define our nose contour a little bit more. If you don't want to contour your nose, you totally don't have to, but I'm like currently obsessed with doing this. I know. It looks crazy right now, but don't worry. Now we're gonna take just a big fluffy brush. This is like not very dense at all. You want it to be kind of just like feathery and loose. And you're just gonna go in and do circular motions where you contoured, and it's gonna blend it out perfectly. So you're gonna still have like the definition, but it's not gonna be as harsh. So you see that side compared to that side? A world of a difference, but you are still snatched. Now you can do the same thing on your nose. Just go ahead and buff it out. If you felt like you put too much on, you can go in with your beauty blender and just kind of pat it out. It'll tone it down, just like that. Okay, now for blush, I'm gonna be using my all-time favorite blush. This is Madly by NARS. It's just like a dusty, like neutral pink. I don't like a lot of color on my cheeks. I like it to really blend into my bronzer really nicely. That's just like how I feel the prettiest. But you can take whatever cheek color is your favorite and just pop it on the cheeks. I'm using this this is the EcoTools full setting brush, and I'm just buffing it in circular motions right on the apples of the cheek and working my way back. This is gonna blend it nicely into your contour and to your bronzer so that there's no like striping happening, you know? So just pop it on and just start circular motions from the very beginning, and this will blend it into your cheeks beautifully. This is also a great blush because it's like you can just keep building it, just depending on your mood and how much color you need on your face, and you're good. Okay, so now for one of our favorite parts, highlighting. I'm gonna start with a liquid and we're gonna top it off with a powder. So I'm gonna take this. This is the Revlon Color Charge Liquid Illuminator in Halo. This is limited edition and I cannot find it online, but check your local Rite Aid. If not, just find a good liquid highlighter. This one just happens to be my favorite. And if you guys can get your hands on it, I highly recommend it. I put a little bit on the back of my hand and then I take my beauty blender, dip it in, and then you're just gonna go right on the top of your cheeks and just press it in. And don't worry about there being powder on your face. This stuff works miracles. Also using the beauty blender. We've already used the beauty blender with powder in this area of our face, so it'll be fine. Don't worry about it too much. Just go ahead and press it in right on the top of the cheekbone. And then I'm also gonna take a little bit on my Cupid bow and down the center of my nose. I don't like to take highlighter on my forehead or my chin because I feel like it makes me look a little bit too oily, especially for a look that needs to last all day and all night. So I don't take highlighter there, but yeah, so now that we have like our base glow, which is honestly gorgeous. If you don't want to glow too much, you could totally keep it there, but I'm gonna go in with Champagne Pop. This is the Champagne Glow palette. I had Champagne Pop, like the single, you can still get it, but it broke. So this is like the only one I got left. So I'm just gonna take it on this Morphe M510 brush, and we're just gonna top off where we put that Revlon highlighter and just buff it right in. And doing the highlighter, the liquid on top of, or the powder on top of the liquid is just gonna not only make it last longer, but really intensify it. Like, look at that glow. I like to take a smaller brush for my nose and just go right on the bridge of the nose and then right on the tip of the nose. Some people don't like this tip of the nose thing, but I love it. And then right on the Cupid's bow. And then if you want, you could take a little bit, whatever's left on the brush, like right on the forehead. But I also, right after I do my highlighter, I like to go back in with my blush brush and buff that, just so that if the highlighter got on top of where the blush was, it's not like overpowering it. And it's just a nice, good blend. Oh my God, you guys, we're looking beat. I do think I need to blend out my nose contour a little bit more. Let's do that. Okay, so then once everything is on, last step is to just set everything in place with that NYX Matte Finish Setting Spray. So you're just gonna spritz the hell out of your face, literally. The more you put on, the better it is. So shake it up really well before you spray and then just go ham. Woo! I like to take a little hand fan and just dry that because I feel like it works better when you dry it quickly. And using that setting spray is going to tone down the powderiness. It's going to lock everything in place and it's just going to be phenomenal. And at this point you can go in and see what more you need, what less you need, where you need to tone down, all of that. Oh my God, I have like foundation lips. OD. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the rest of my makeup, finish up this eye look, put on a lip, and then I'll be back to say bye to you guys. Okay, you guys, my entire makeup is on, eye look is done, makeup is done, face is beat. I honestly feel like $1,000,000. This is such a good look. I hope you guys enjoyed this foundation routine. Obviously, tweak it to your skin type, whatever your favorite products are that you know work for you. Go ahead and use them. But I wanted to share with you guys a bunch of my favorite products that work for me, last long on the skin, look beautiful, feel beautiful. And yeah, I just wanted to share all of my tips with you so that you have the most perfect base for your big day. I hope you guys really, really enjoyed it. Make sure if you did, you give this video a thumbs up. Also, make sure to click subscribe in the button below so that you don't miss any of my new videos. I upload every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 9 p.m. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and I will see you in my next video.